the camera. Give it off, down.
In celebration of Car Revenge Week here at Screen.com, we're revving our engines with a look at two of the craziest car theft films ever put to celluloid. That's right, we're talking about the 1974 original version of Gone in 60 Seconds and its 2000 reimagining. Both of these films have pretty similar plots involving the attempt to steal 50 exotic cars in just a couple of days' time. The original film was written, directed, produced, and starred car nut H.B. Halicki, the owner of a California junkyard of all things, and is a little rough around the edges since the bulk of the dialogue was actually improvised by the amateur actors. The remake, on the other hand, is a slick Jerry Bruckheimer production and starred the #1 Bruckheimer player, Nicolas Cage. So without further ado, let's get on to the Remake Rematch. First category is Best Opening Credits. Now, the opening credits of the remake feature some really embarrassing Photoshop work, with Cage and Giovanni Ribisi having their faces awkwardly inserted into old pictures to make it look as if they're actually related. It's not very convincing. On the other hand, the opening credits to the original film gives you the first of many stylish behind-the-wheel shots you'll see in the film, and proudly states that the film is brought to you by H.B. Halicki, Mercantile Company, and Junkyard, and goes on to list the star of the film, Eleanor, a 1973 Ford Mustang Mach 1 that'll pop up later in the film. That is really cool. And the winner is the original film. Next category is Best Hair. Now, the remake has Angelina Jolie's weird dreadlockian thing, which would probably even wind up looking out of place at Burning Man, but the original film has such an amazing array of 70s hair that it's almost worth watching just for that. Now, I don't even know how to describe some of the hairstyles that you'll wind up seeing in the film, but if you have a sexual fetish for crazy sideburns, then you will lock yourself in your room for a week when you see this movie. And the winner is the original film. And the next category is Worst Stereotype. Now, when you're talking about Jerry Bruckheimer, we of course cannot get away without the token, easily upset African-American member of the team.
I told you I'm running this shit. You do that again, I will kill. Cool, man. Damn, you got to take it so damn personal.
It's kind of de rigueur though, so to top it off, the script throws in the worst driver in the world, who is of course an Asian woman.
You can't negotiate turns, you can't signal properly, you can't maintain speed, you can't parallel park. Hell, you can't drive, honey. Shit, I can't swim, I know I can't. So you know what I do? I stay my black ass out the pool.
The original film, for its part, implies that all young black males like to do is drive around drinking malt liquor, smoking pot, and saying "man" over and over again.
I don't know, man. I hope so, huh?
And the winner here is a push. I'm not even going to comment on the veracity of either of those stereotypes. You guys are going to have to discuss amongst yourselves. Next up is Best Car Thefts. This is one category where I have to give the nod to the remake. It manages to make most of the individual car thefts seem like they have a bit of planning behind them. People go undercover, do their research, and make their escape under the watchful eye of the police. In the original film, most of the car thefts are simple matters of walking up to a car and driving away with it, as in the heists of many of the limousines that the crew steals. I do give Halicki credit for inserting one of the most random events I swear that I've ever seen in a movie though. Still, on the whole, the remake actually wins this round. And last but not least, we have Best Car Chase. Now don't get me wrong, the remake's car chase is very competently done, even exciting at times, with plenty of whiplash editing and a town seemingly full of trucks and buses that threaten to smash into Eleanor at any moment.
Are you all right? Yeah. Are you okay? Just sit back. You all right?
I think so.
Are you sure? Because you just went through a wall.
All the same, it's a bit too Hollywood, a bit too slick to make you feel that anyone's ever really in danger, and the CGI jump at the end is kind of ridiculous. The original film, on the other hand, runs 97 minutes long, and the final car chase takes up 40 of those minutes. That's right, 40% of this film is devoted to a single car chase. Obviously, when you're talking about one of the longest single car chases in the history of the movies, there's a fair amount of padding. A lot of shots of reporters talking to eyewitnesses, police dispatchers coordinating their patrol cars, and accident cleanups, but there's no denying the enthusiasm that Halicki brought to his pet project. He actually was seriously hurt a couple of times during the filming of the chase, once when his car clipped another one on the highway and hit a telephone pole, and again during the film's climactic car jump, where he compressed 10 vertebrae and was said to walk funny for months afterward. It's a complete mess of a chase and probably way longer than it needs to be, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. And again, the winner is the original film. And now, the winner of this remake rematch. I don't hate the Nicolas Cage version of this film, even if it is a pretty minor work in the Bruckheimer canon. It's got a pretty good cast, with Delroy Lindo and Robert Duvall lending their solidity to the ensemble, but on the whole, it's a bit inconsequential. The original film, though, even if it isn't technically a car revenge movie, and is a huge mess of looped dialogue and shoddy acting,
One of these days pays.
is the obvious product of a man who was simply in love with cars and wanted to make a movie to show off that love, even if it did result in no fewer than 93 wrecks in 97 minutes of film. Halicki would go on to tragically die on the set of Gone in 60 Seconds 2, but he is surely happy up in car heaven jumping moonshine races off of dirt jumps with Dale Earnhardt. I can only hope he'll smile down on me when he learns that he has indeed won this edition of Remake Rematch. And that'll do it for another installment of the old R&R, but I have a suspicion we'll be back sooner than you might think for another go-round. I'm Matthew Rory, and I'll see you back here on Screen.com before you know it.